Tonight's headlines are brought to you in part by Coldwell Energy and McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I am Sally Lemus. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. The jury reaches a verdict for a woman accused of harboring a minor immigrant. Also tonight, the Commonwealth opposes parole for 2 male inmates. And $500,000 given to NMI athletes. In sports, we speak to one of the island's best swimmers. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
Sipping on a delicious drink from McDonald's may have you thinking, what makes these drinks just hit different? Don't overthink it. Just enjoy it. It's more than a drink. It's a McDonald's drink.
Cool off this summer with McDonald's Minute Maid Slushies. Try the new Tropical Mango or returning favorite, Strawberry Watermelon, for a limited time.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Half a day to the Wami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Friday, July 8, 2022. Third time may not be a charm, at least not for Lily Zhang Tidingco, who was found guilty by a jury in federal court today. The 3-day jury trial for a female accused of harboring a minor alien ended this afternoon, finding Lily Zhang Tidingco guilty. Her sentencing is scheduled for July 22, 9 a.m. in the courtroom of the Honorable Ramona Manglonia. The defendant was ordered to report to the U.S. Office of Probation for further investigation. Tidingco was represented by attorney Bruce Berline.
This is our third try, and the juror found Ms. Tidingco guilty, and we'll certainly appeal. We believe there's basis to appeal, and we'll keep fighting.
U.S. Attorney Garth Back appeared on behalf of the federal government. The trial began on Wednesday and closing arguments were presented this morning. Berline will be making the next appeal on the case soon.
I think the main issue was there were a couple witnesses that were called that didn't have any knowledge or personal recollection of the events that they were testifying to. And that would probably be one of the main issues on appeal.
According to court documents, around 2013, Lily Tidingco and her husband Frank Tidingco are accused of harboring, concealing, and shielding from detention a Chinese child to avoid their detection by immigration authorities. Her husband Frank was found guilty for aiding and abetting in 2016. The Commonwealth is asking the CNMI Board of Parole to deny applications of a local male convicted of murder and another convicted of sexual assault. It's been about 14 years since the brutal murder of Efren Ballesteros, a security guard in Marianas High School. Edward Blas was one of the persons responsible for the murder and was sentenced to 24 years in prison. Blas is now eligible for parole after serving 1/3 of his sentence. According to Chief Prosecutor Chester Hines, Blas took a piece of metal rebar and repeatedly struck the head of Ballesteros just so he could steal property and buy drugs. Hines says there is nothing mitigating about this heinous crime for brutally beating a sleeping man to death. The AG's office recommends the board to deny parole. The same recommendation has been made for 40-year-old Edwin Tadela Sablon, who pled guilty to sexual assault in the second degree. Sablon was sentenced 2 years imprisonment and has served 2/3 of his sentence, now subject for parole. In a letter to the board, Chief Prosecutor points out that the law was passed to send a strong message to sex offenders, and granting early release for Sablon does not apply equal justice. The victim issued a written request stating, quote, "I'm forced to live this life that I didn't even choose. Why should he be given the option to try to escape from the past when I am not even given one? My trust, my safety, and most especially my right to give consent have all been stripped away from me." Unquote. The AG's office is requesting the board to deny Sablon's parole application and let him serve the remaining of his sentence. The CNMI community sees another fuel price rollback this week. Gas prices are down by 25 cents, marking this adjustment as the second rollback in just 2 days. A regular gallon of gas is now $6.16 on Saipan. Tinian prices dropped as well, down to $7.90. Gas stations on Rhoda have yet to reduce fuel prices since the 15-cent rollback this week. They are expected to carry out the 35-cent decrease by the end of this week. Athletes were celebrated and recognized Thursday night at the Kensington Hotel for representing the Marianas in not only the Pacific Mini Games, but in other off-island tournaments as well, receiving a very generous gift. Cheers echoed throughout the Kensington Hall as athletes were celebrated and recognized for their achievements. Governor Ralph Torres, along with the Northern Marianas Sports Association, presented cash incentives to each athlete who represented the NMI in sporting events throughout the Pacific region. Gold medalists in the Pacific Mini Games received $6,000, silver medalists $3,500, and bronze medalists received $2,000. Tennis player Colin Sinclair won 3 gold medals and 1 bronze, taking home the highest amount of $20,000. A $500 bonus was gifted to Franco Nakamura for hitting a lone home run in the baseball tournament. All athletes who reached the semifinals in their respective sport received $750, while those who competed in the games received $500 each. Coaches and managers were taken care of as well, receiving $3,000 each. The governor also presented $1,000 to each member of the men's and women's basketball team who competed in the 2022 FIBA Micronesian Cup held in Guam. Athletes who participated in the Oceania Athletics Championship in Australia and the FINA World Championship in Budapest earlier this month were incentivized as well, the amounts varying on each achievement.
All of you guys, all of you really made the CNMI proud. Yeah. Give a round of applause. NMI champs!
Governor Torres would like to see a large delegation from the NMI to compete in next year's Pacific Games in the Solomon Islands. NMSA President Jerry Tan.
The first thing that NAMSA is looking at, which we have already started our dialogue within the board, after we had a chance to speak with the governor, you heard what he said earlier. We're going to charter the flight.
The goal is to fly out over 200 athletes to compete in the games and other future games in the Pacific region.
I think we deserve to really make our case to the community and to the government that sport needs more support. Yes, sir. Right? So we start. Micronesian Games should be in Majuro next summer, which is about 12 months from now. We still need to hear the confirmation. Their border is still somewhat closed. We'll keep you guys updated. But then the Solomon Game is about 16, 17 months from now, November 2023. So we have two important games next year. And we plan to send large delegation to both games.
In the recent revised budget proposal for the upcoming fiscal year, Governor Torres allocates $475 to NMSA for all future projects on facilities and programs for athletes.
At the end, we want to continue to grow the sport on grassroots level. We're going to work closely with PSS in the interscholastic. And also, we just want to make sure that our elite athletes have that opportunity to go and represent our flag every year at every game.
All right, congratulations once again to all the NMI athletes. Coming up, Japan visitors are expected to arrive on the island soon. Stay tuned.
Sea turtles and hawksbill turtles call the Mariana Islands home. They are an important part of the marine ecosystem. They are under threat, and they are protected under CNMI law. Keep plastic out of the ocean. Keep vehicles off the beach. Use the Sea Turtle Stranding Hotline if you see poaching activities or if you see a turtle in trouble. Call 287-8537 and save a turtle.
All workers have the right to a safe workplace. Employers must provide a workplace that is free from recognized hazards and comply with applicable OSHA standards, including proper reporting of injuries. Training needs to be done in a language and vocabulary employees can understand, and an OSHA information poster must be displayed prominently in the workplace. Workers, you have the right to raise a safety or health concern with your employer or OSHA without being retaliated against, and request an OSHA consultation of your workplace if you believe there are unsafe or unhealthy conditions. OSHA can help. Free assistance to identify and correct hazards is available to small and medium-sized employers without citation or penalty. So look out, speak up, and stay safe. Job safety and health, it's not only good practice, it's the law. Check out OSHA.gov or call 664-3154 or 3155.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. The Nutrition Assistance Program informs the general public that their office will be closed on Monday. The NAP office under the Department of Community and Cultural Affairs will be closed on Monday, July 11, in lieu of the administration leave granted for July 5th. According to Walter Marianas, the NAP office stayed open on July 5th to continue distributing benefits as published in their issued schedule. NAP will resume operations on Tuesday, July 12. Sinamai tourism officials meet with travel partners in Tokyo to promote Sinamai as the ideal destination. It's called the Marianas Seminar, where representatives of travel agencies, travel media, and other tourism partners from Japan will learn more about the Marianas and why it is the ideal destination. The Marianas Visitors Authority board and staff, along with United Airlines officials and a representative of the U.S. Embassy in Japan, will host the seminar held at the Komore Yotsuya Tower Conference in Tokyo, Japan. In a press conference earlier this week, United Airlines Managing Director Sam Shinohara states there is already a lot of buzz in Japan about the direct flights.
So our team in Japan is already hard at work. We've already started selling the flights. In fact, the team is coming on July 10th and 11th to spend some time here on the island to reacquaint themselves with Saipan and all of the beauties and wonders that you folks have to offer.
United Airlines will be flying 3 weekly flights for 6 months and is expected to bring over 8,000 visitors by the end of this year. This program costs $15 million, and according to MVA's board chairwoman Viola Alipuzu, despite the criticism from several community members, it's an investment to jumpstart the Sinamai's economy.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to jumpstart our economy. If we gave that $15 million and divided it up amongst all our community members, they get to spend it once. But if we help our economy come back on track, then we can see our revenue. We can see the government starting to provide services the way they're supposed to. We can see the businesses open back up. We can see people start getting hired back with their jobs. I mean, just with the Korean market, we've seen that happen. So we're hoping that with the Korean and the Japanese market, that will double what the government coffers brings in to revenues. That will double the jobs that are offered to our community members. If all our people are going to expect is to stay home and get handouts, where are we going to be at in a year?
All major hotels are expected to fully open up, as well as services around the island specifically catered to tourists. The first inaugural flight is set for September of this year. Don't go anywhere, folks. We have the KSPN Sports Report up next. It's okay to take a friend or parent's medication. It came from a doctor, right?
Using someone's prescription is really risky. Taking any drugs for which you have not been medically screened is not only dangerous, but taking an opioid that was not prescribed for you is also illegal. Never borrow and never share prescribed medication. Your life and your loved one's life could depend on it. Talk to your doctor about prescribed opioids. Never mix with alcohol, and remember, never borrow, never share. It only takes a little to lose a lot.
This project was supported by a grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. Contents are solely the responsibility of CHCC and do not necessarily represent the official views of the CDC or the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The Tan Su Lin Foundation promotes the culture of giving back. The foundation and its generous partners are committed to supporting programs that include health, education, and sports. Initiatives that promote arts and culture, the environment, and tourism will benefit our community and our residents. Giving back and making a difference will help ensure that the island paradise we call home will be a better place to live.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans.
It's always a struggle to get kids out of the water and come to shore. And for this young man, he made sure that the water will be his best friend. If you want to be the best thing, you have to do things that other people aren't willing to do. A quote by Michael Phelps.
Young Stars Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
Another young athlete from Marianas High School is our young star for tonight, 16-year-old Isaiah Alexenko.
My name is Isaiah, and I'm 16 years old. I go to MHS, and I'm 11th grade.
Alexenko is not new in the world of triathlon. He competed in several triathlon races before, and he also joined the tryouts to be in the national team for the Pacific Mini Games.
And I practiced on my bike because I was already good at swimming and running, and as I got better at biking, they asked me if I wanted to join the team. So I said, oh, yeah, sure, because it's a good experience.
He is very happy to be part of the NMI Triathlon national team.
I felt good, felt pretty good because it was my first time competing in the Pacific Mini Games. So.
Alexenko's main sport is swimming, and he is one of the best swimmers here in the CNMI. He started swimming at a very young age.
Well, I started swimming when I was 5, and I didn't take it seriously because I was young. But then, when I started going off islands, I started taking it seriously. So when I was around 10, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it seriously.
According to Alexenko, he really takes his swim training seriously.
So before swimming, I stretch and do a little bit of dry land. And then we do warm up for swimming and then drills. And then we start the hard part, which is the main set. And then that takes about an hour or an hour and 30 minutes. And that's nonstop, so no breaks. And then after that is warm down. And then we go back to stretching. And then that's about it.
Alexenko would like to train harder and practice more to have better results in his future races.
I want to become better. I'm gonna practice more and push myself more in the future so I can become more successful.
He would also like to pursue swimming in college.
My coach already has a few colleges in Japan, but it's not like Japanese. They could also have English classes. But my mom wants me to go to the US, so I might go to the US for college, but a swimming college.
One of his greatest achievements in sports is winning the MVP award in Japan.
So I got 2 gold and then an MVP. And then the second year, I got 1 gold and a bronze and almost got an MVP again, but then they chose another guy.
And here is his advice to all the other young athletes out there.
Never give up. Keep doing what you're doing and practice harder every day.
Young Star Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week.
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. Bring your friends in for the best night out at Godfather's Bar in Garabin. Sing along to your favorite hits with live music from the Gigolos. Godfather's has daily food and drink specials, like Taco Tuesdays. The best pizza on island every day of the week. Located on Palm Street in Garabin. Everybody is family at Godfather's Bar. Bada bing, bada boom.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Gold's Gym, and today I want to go over some exercises that you can easily apply into your current exercise program. Now I have here with me Vince, who's going to be demoing some of those exercises. Now the first one today is going to be a one-arm dumbbell row. Before I have Vince here execute a few reps, what we want to remember with virtually any exercise is your setup. If you start in a bad position, it's not going to look good, and it's certainly not going to feel good. So a common mistake with here is obviously a rounded upper back. And as you can see, it's not very rigid or stable. So what we're going to do is correct that just a little bit. So the supporting arm and this leg that's supported on the bench as well, we want to lock that in. That leg a little bit to allow for a better path on that dumbbell. With the elbows coming up way too high, you can see the shoulders riding forward, and that's not what we want. So ideally, what you want to think about is pulling with your elbows and stopping right at the midline of your body. So in this position right here, you can feel his entire upper back along with his core.
And for the KSPN weather report, mostly cloudy with scattered showers and possibly thunderstorms. South-southeast wind around 7 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy with scattered showers. South-southeast wind around 6 miles per hour. Humidity is 82%, high 85, low 78. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered showers. East-northeast wind 5 to 7 miles per hour, high 84, low 78. The marine forecast, light to gentle winds with combined seas of 4 to 6 feet will persist through at least the weekend. Southeast wind 5 to 10 knots, wind waves 2 feet or less, east swell 4 feet. The sunrise will be at 5:52 a.m., high tide 2:52 p.m., low tide 8:14 p.m., and the sunset, you can catch that at 6:51 p.m. All right, folks, that is your weekend edition of the news, sports, and weather here in the Marianas. Thank you for always staying tuned to the Channel 2 News. We wish you all a happy weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday.